Hello and welcome to episode 45 of the Tash Talks live show. And today we've got the Gram with us as well. We're letting you guys come on in and kind of take a sneak peek of some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. Now, the biggest topic what I wanted to talk to you about today is the fear of failure, because boy, oh boy, oh boy, do I see this come up so much for my clients, so many DMs that I get from you guys and my audience saying to me, but what happens if I don't succeed, Tash? What happens if I go all in on this launch and it doesn't happen? The fear of failure it feels so freaking real, doesn't it? So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm definitely 1,000,000% doing a live today on this. Now, just before I go into this, what I want to tell you is a new episode of the Tash Talks live podcast has dropped today. And it's where I'm talking about the 5 biggest subconscious blocks that are stopping you right now. So I don't know if you can hear Penelope going literally absolute batshit crazy right now. 1 minute. Let me get her. So yes, she was. She's going back to, you were going crazy, weren't you? So here we go. We've calmed her down. So the new episode is launched today. It's come out today. And it's where I really dive into the 5 biggest subconscious blocks of what I see is stopping you right now. And I've been doing this now for 6.5 years. And if I'm being totally honest with you, it doesn't matter what level of business you come to me, what business you've got, like what I deal with subconscious beliefs. So it doesn't matter if you're launching a coaching program or you're launching, let's say you're selling services as a solicitor, for example. It doesn't matter because I deal with the belief systems that's going on behind it. So from doing this, what I've really experienced is it's the same kind of beliefs that come up all of the time. And of course, one of them I want to go into today, which is, of course, the fear of failure. Again, before we go into this, I do also want to tell you, if you're not in Scrap the Strategy Challenge, it's my free challenge that was, I'm going to be honest, was a 3-day challenge, but I am loving it so much. And the girls in there are just fire. The energy is incredible. And I'm getting new people join all of the time. I'm like, frick it. I'm extending it. It's not just going to be 3 days. I don't know how long it's going to be, but you want to jump in. And it's really, we're going to be going through the 3 steps, the ACI method, which is the awareness over what those limiting beliefs are that are coming up for you that are blocking you. You know that time when you want to launch something and just before you do, you have that belief that you can't do this. There's no way you could do that. There's no way you could sell out your programs. There's no way you could charge that, right? All those belief systems, that's what we need to work on, because it isn't the strategy that's what's going to get you the sold out launch. It's the bullshit that comes before you even execute the strategy is what's the energy behind that action. So this is why it's so important in the first part of our method, the ACI method, that we work on the awareness of what those thoughts, beliefs, emotions are that are currently stuck. Because all it is, when we get a little bit into the details here, all it is data. That's all our mind is seeing is data. Us being humans, because that's what we do, we make it mean something. And majority of the time, we make it mean everything. We create this equation in our head, X plus Y equals Z. That's what we do, right? And in the Scrap the Strategy Challenge, of course, you probably guessed, I'm not teaching you any strategies, nothing, no business strategy in this. What I teach you is to how to shift your subconscious mind for success. Because as you know, and you probably hear me talk about this so much, your subconscious mind, its job is to keep you alive. Like that is its job. It doesn't understand that you wanting to go for the 10K months is safe. And it's like, oh, that's okay. It's just a goal. You're not going to die. It doesn't understand that. It goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my goodness. That 10K goal is a threat. And we have got to do everything possible to save Natasha, to save you, right? That's what our subconscious mind does. So in this, I'm going to teach you the awareness. Then we're actually going to go through the clearance stage where I actually teach you how to clear this, how to detach away from that emotion that's basically running the show, okay? So, and in today's nugget that I'm going to be dropping, I'm giving you a powerful tool of how to shift it, like an actual tangible exercise that when you are feeling fear, seems like it's the topic of the day. When you are feeling fear, you are able to use this tool to literally shift it. This is stuff I teach in Conscious Coach, but I want you to experience the power of these exercises. I want you to experience and understand that it's your thoughts that are actually ruling the show. And that's what's creating the results that you don't have right now. But you desire them, but you're not getting there. And this is the gap. This is the gap we need to fill. And then we're going to go into I say day 3, but it's probably day 5 by now. We're going to go into identity, who you actually need to become in order for you to have your DMs blown up by the most dreamiest ideal clients. That's an identity shift. That isn't, okay, if I follow this step-by-step strategy, my DMs will blow up. No, that is not how it works. And if anybody's going to tell you that without dealing with your subconscious mind, like, I just don't know how you're going to get results, because you could have a fluke, you could get lucky and, let's say, have a successful launch. Well, do you think you're going to be able to hold it? Do you think you're going to be able to enjoy it? Do you think you're going to go through that launch going, oh my God, this feels so fun and feels so easy? And you're not going to feel any pressure. And when you make the money, you're not going to then freak out by going, how on earth am I going to serve these clients? Because I just don't feel enough. I don't feel like I can. Am I really good enough as a coach? Can I really deliver this? Oh my goodness, I have 10 G's sitting in my account right now and I don't know what to do with it. I'm freaking the hell out. No, that is why we've got to shift the subconscious. That's why it's so freaking important. So if you want to come and join this challenge, DM me the word, well, the words, scrap the strategy. So I know which, because if you send me challenge, I might get confused with what challenge. Just in case you're watching this, not today, not right now. So DM me that and I'll get you the link to come and join me for that one. So let's dive into the fear of failure. I feel like there should be like that music, you know, dun, dun, dun. So imagine this. You have got an amazing new idea for a new offer that you've got. And you know that you get that excitement in your belly where you're like, oh, this would be so good to serve my clients with this. Like, maybe you've done a poll on Instagram and you've seen that so many people are struggling with X and you're like, I help with X. Like, that is literally what I do. Oh my goodness, I'm going to create a program which is going to be able to help serve them doing this. And you feel so excited. And then all of a sudden the doom kicks in. Oh my goodness, there's no way that I can sell this offer, because what if nobody buys? Because if nobody buys, I'm going to feel like a failure. It's going to feel like all this hard work that I've put into creating this offer, creating the funnel, advertising on social media, doing the Insta stories, doing the graphics, the hours you spent on Canva, like all of this, like I get you, I hear you, I see you. And then it goes, well, what if it flops? What if nobody buys? How can I have a group program that nobody's in, nobody's bought? And you're like, this worries me so much. Then I'm like, I'm actually not going to do this. Shh, can I please? So she can hear somebody outside. So then let's think about, you've got this, you increased your prices, right? And you're like, right, I'm definitely going to jump up on Insta stories and I am going to announce it and talk about it. And you do, and you feel all piped and you're like, oh my goodness. And you know, when you go back, because we all review our stories, don't we? You go back and you review and you go, freaking hell, those stories were good. The music, the layout, like the wording was like literally potent AF. Like, you're vibing it. You're like, oh my goodness, I would buy this. And then nobody buys. It doesn't sell out like hotcakes. You don't even get one interaction on your Insta stories. And then what do? You're like, well, what's the point? I'm not going to bother keep selling it. So you don't. So that amazing idea that you had, that price increase that you had, that urge of a gut of like, yeah, I can do this. And you do it. And then this what happens. Or before you even open cart to what it is that you're launching, you have the thoughts of, I can't make 10K. I can't. There's no way I could get 10 people in. Or let's say last launch, you got 5 people in, you're doubling that. You're like, oh, I'm pushing myself. I'm stretching myself here. And you feel excited. And then you go, actually, I can't do this. There's no way. 10 people at £2,000. Oh my goodness, that's a 20K. Oh, there's no way I could do that. I just don't have the right ideal clients. My clients don't buy. My reels don't go viral. I don't have a big enough email list. I don't think I'm as confident as what I think I am. Oh my goodness. And then you go down on, you know, the rabbit hole of TikTok or Instagram, and before you know it, you're on God knows whose page, looking at God knows what, of how they've just made a gazillion pounds in a gazillion seconds. And then you're completely in this vicious lack loop of, this is why I can't do this. And this is why these people are successful. And this is why I'm not. And then what it does is create even more evidence for your subconscious mind to go, see, you can't do this. You can't. Like, what made you think that you can? Like, come on. Absolutely not. So then you don't. And then you wonder why it is that you didn't sell out. And if you were to really look back at the data and see it, you'd be like, actually, this makes sense of why this didn't happen. Like, I had beliefs that I couldn't do this way before I actually even opened the cart. So if you're having those beliefs, guess what? Even if your conscious part of your brain goes, no, forget those thoughts, Tash, you can do this. You can absolutely do this. And let's say you've even got a little pot of evidence where you can go, yeah, we've done this and we've done it. Doesn't matter. The subconscious mind is 95% of it's ruling the show. So like, let's do the girl maths here. Okay. You got 95% in, let's pretend it's a boxing match. And in the corner, we have the red pen. And oh my goodness, it's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Which is the conscious part of your brain. Just going to get this up. And then in the next corner, we've got the Psychic Sisters meditation ritual set. And this is 95%. Woo! Who do you think is going to rule the show? This, I mean, it's not even like that, is it? It's like this. 5% or 95%? The conscious part of your brain saying, come on, girl, you can do this. It is possible. You've just got to do this. You've just got to believe. Or the 95% of your unconscious mind going, there's no way in high hell you can do this. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. It's never happened before. You can hold 10K. Those other people who are doing it are more smarter, thinner, prettier, more educated than you. They've got more accreditations than you. They've got a bigger audience than you. They're more savvy when it comes to money than you. They're more confident the way they show up. This one's ruling the show. So guess what? You're not going to go ahead and have that 10K, 20K launch. Of course you're not, because you haven't worked on your subconscious mind. So this poor 5% that's like rooting for you, go, come on, you can do this. It's not going to happen. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you there, Penelope. The subconscious mind, the 95% is going to rule it every single time. So please do not think you can out-strategize, out-hustle, outwork your subconscious mind. It will always come up. I mean, we were at an event last weekend and we were talking, most of the people at our table had been in business a good amount of years. We'd got to a certain level of success, those types of things. And we were talking about the beliefs that come up. And it was really interesting. One of the speakers asked the room some questions, and one lady got up and she was already hitting 7 figures and wanted to scale that. And she came up with the same beliefs, the same thoughts of, let's say, another person that had kind of just started their business. So your limiting beliefs don't disappear because you make a certain amount of money. You've got to learn to hold that. You've got to learn to step into that identity of somebody that actually can have that types of cash in their account and not freak out, that can hold that level of ideal client. Because I hear so much that people I want to work with more aligned clients. I want to work with more higher caliber client. Are you acting like a high caliber coach though? Are you acting like somebody that's a high caliber service that you provide? Because it's one thing wanting something, and that's just a whole different thing. When you want something, you're detaching away from the outcome anyway, because it's like money's you, the clients are you, the success is you. As soon as you go, I want something, you detach yourself away from it. So it creates even more of a distance. So please don't think that when you get to a certain level of success, like, oh, but Tash, when I set out my launch, when that reel goes viral, when I have 4 one-on-one clients, when I have 8 one-on-one clients, that's then when I will work on this. No. This is when you work on it. This is when you work on it. Stop going for the quick external validation, something that's going to give you a quick, like a buzz, like a hit. Well, let me buy this business course because that business course will help me do this. And then I can go viral on here. And in your logical part of your brain, you're trying to work out this route of success, when really what you need to do is stop the doing and start being. Like, actually look at yourself, which is the scariest part, right? This is why so many people don't do the subconscious work, because following a step-by-step strategy, I hate to say it, and controversial as I am, is the easy part. Like, let's not overcomplicate things. You show up, you sell on Instagram, let's say, you show up, you post your content on like TikTok, I show up, I send the email, I serve my clients, what else do I do? I like speak to my team, manage what's going on, plan. Like, this isn't the hard part. The hardest, the most challenging part is doing the inner work. That's doing the inner work so that when, let's say, dreamy ideal client wants to come and work with you, and you're like, yes, this would be so exciting for us to work together. Sorry. This would be so exciting for us to work together. And then they literally ghost you. And then you're feeling triggered AF. You're like, oh my goodness. Guess what? You need to do the work. Guess what? You thought you were going to hit 10K this month, and you're already, what are we in, the 16th of the month, are we? Can't see the date. And you're like, it's not going to happen. Guess what? You need to do subconscious work. This is all the compound effect of this subconscious work, right? So I want to break down what fear is, because, when we think about fear, we see it as this big, huge ugly monster. That's what we do, right? And fear becomes such a big thing. It's like, oh, acts like a big monster. Now, when we break it down, what is fear? Fear is one of the most basic human emotions, because let's be fair, we're all having human experiences. Like, let's not be too down on ourselves about this. And it's programmed into our nervous system and it works like an instinct. That's what it does. So from the time we were infants, from the ages of 0 to 7, we were conditioned and we were equipped with the survival instincts necessary for us to respond to fear when dangerous or situations occurred where we didn't feel safe. So fear isn't a bad thing. Like what I say to my clients in Conscious Coach is, I'm not going to remove fear from your life forever. Like I'm not a magician. Like I can't do that. Like that's impossible. It's also not necessary. We need fear. Fear is fantastic when we're crossing the road and you feel that fear when the car's coming. That gives that shot of adrenaline that makes you jump back. That fear when you're walking down a dark alley. Or when you're feeling a little bit unsafe and you're like, I'm going to put my phone away now, I'm going to hide my watch or whatever it might be. That fear is going to keep you safe. So fear isn't a bad thing. It's just not necessary when we're looking to serve our business, when we're looking to grow and scale that, okay? So when we resist doing something, it's going to persist. So when we resist doing this subconscious work, it's going to persist, right? What we have to do, and what I teach you, is to look fear in the eye. Look fear in the eye. That's what we have to do. And in my Scrap the Strategy Challenge, I am dropping today a very powerful activation, which is going to help you clear this. So let's say you're feeling fear right now. You're feeling the fear of fill in the blank. I'd love for you to tell me, drop it into the chat box, send me a DM. Like, what are you, the fear of failing, what are you fearful of? Is it launching the program, increasing your prices? Like what actually is the fear really behind the fear of failing? What do you think you're going to fail at? Okay. And then what we're going to do is in this really powerful tool, in this exercise, we're going to remove that fear. We're going to dial down the intensity because right now, the intensity of fear is so strong and so powerful, it can paralyze us at times. It can stop us from making the most correct decisions. And why is this? When we think about the unconscious mind causes an emotion like fear to cause an action. The action is designed to serve and protect us. So let's say you are wanting to launch your new group program and you are really excited about it. You know that this is going to serve your community. You know that what the price point is. You've worked out your triangle transformation. If you're one of my clients, you know, you've done all this. You're completely like backed it. You're behind it. You're like, brilliant. Okay, great. So then you go to put it out, but the fear comes. Oh my goodness. What if I put it out and nobody buys? What if somebody inquires and then they don't think it's good enough? What happens if someone goes through the program and they don't get the result or the transformation? So guess what? That fear, your mind is then causing an emotion, which is going to cause an action. And that action is for you to like, no, do not do it. Do not offer that program. Do not jump on Insta stories and talk about it. Do not let that person that somehow bought from you because they found your sales page, they've loved your content. Do not let them buy from you. Then they've bought and you don't know, and then you're like, do not let this program go ahead. No, no, no. And that's why so many people pull it. They go, oh my goodness, there's no way. I went to launch a group program and 2 people showed up. Yeah, been there, done that. And what? I deliver that program as if there is 2 million people in there because it's an identity shift. I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm not making the numbers mean anything. I look at it and go, wow, I get to serve 2 amazing, incredible humans and souls. Let's freaking go. So I would never let that stop me. And that's because I can hold it. That's because I can hold fear. And when you learn to hold fear, it ain't never going to stop you. Because fear, which I'm sure you've heard before, is false evidence appearing real. Like fear does not exist. Like, be honest with yourself. Have you ever met fear? Have you met them down the street? In a nightclub? At dinner? Walking past you in the road? Like, have you ever met fear? No. Have you felt fear? Yeah, because it's an emotion. So the fear of failure doesn't actually exist. It's a made-up concept that you have created, and it's stored as evidence of years and years of conditioning, of all the times that you have failed and how it felt and how you never want to experience that again, because that feeling of discomfort, that feeling of upset, of hurt, of sadness, of anger, that fear, that feelings that came from it, you didn't like. and it's seen, your brain saw that as a threat. So it's like, no, 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 we're not going to do this again. Because I bet you can list out all the times of when you felt you have failed at something. And then guess what? Unconscious mind sees this as more evidence. So then our RAS system is looking for more evidence of why you are going to fail again. Because your unconscious mind doesn't know to go, it's not really what you want. You don't really want to fail. You don't really want me to start looking at all the reasons you're going to fail. It doesn't understand that. So it goes, okay, yeah, let's go. I'm here to keep you safe. And safe is you not launching this program. So I'm going to do that. And your conscious part of your brain's going, but you're an amazing coach. You're an amazing service provider. Like, get that program out to more people. Show up on Insta stories, but it doesn't matter because it's the 5%. And this is what we're working with, the 95%. So if the fear is made up, it doesn't exist. This is where we have to work on clearing that emotion. Because what's happened is you're creating an equation in your head. And we need to change this equation because right now you're making X plus Y equal B. And it's like, that's not how it goes. We get to change the game. We get to create the equation. Let's say 2 people in your launch isn't a failure. Why are you making this mean something? And then what happens is we get an emotion and we create an identity from it. And this is when it's really the sticking point. This is when we really got to do that work to shift it. So this so much isn't now that I'm fearful of this launch. It's I'm scared. You're literally as if you're getting a coat of fear and you're putting it on. I'm fearful. I'm scared. I'm broke. I'm fill in the blank. I'm a procrastinator. I mean, this is the identities we take on, and we need to shift that. We need to shift that identity and see it for what it is. You are experiencing emotion. You are not an emotion. You experience thoughts. You are not a thought. Just as you go, there's a cloud there. Oh, that's a beautiful ring light. Oh, there's Instagram. Oh, there's my Apple Mac. We don't go, oh, there's a cloud. It must mean this and it must mean that. And I'm going to take this cloud on. We don't do it. So I want us to then unlearn these years of conditioning and program of what we have been conditioned to think and feel. And then let's create our own equations. Let's stand in our power and go, actually, I'm not here to play small. I'm not here to let this. When we think about this on a real logical level, right? You're really going to let your mind, thoughts that are not real, thoughts that are convincing you that you are not enough, that you are not deserving, that you are not able to be able to achieve, do, be, have, and create the success that you want. You're really going to let your mind hold you back. Really? And this is why I'm so passionate about the self-belief work, the belief system that you have and create, because you've done the work to create this. We now need to do the work to unwire this, reprogram the way our belief systems is. Because if you can create a belief system that can stop you from doing something, guess what? You can rewire that belief system to do something that's actually going to push you to do something. Because guess what? I wasn't born like this. This is years and years of conditioning. This is years and years of brainwashing. This is years and years of rewiring and reprogramming over and over and over and over again. This is something we call I am the compound effect. I didn't just wake up and read one book and then be like, oh, I'm a different person. I didn't listen to one podcast. I didn't do one exercise. Like, this is the compound effect. I've been doing in business 6.5 years. I've done the freaking work. And let me tell you this. This is a wake-up call. There's still more work to do. As you grow your business, as you scale your business, this is the work you always do. But how incredible if you could have the tools and techniques to be able to serve you every single time. Every time I might feel triggered by something, every time there's a fear and emotion that comes up that I want to melt away, I want to dispel, I want to shift it. Guess what? I've got a conscious coach that I can grab straight into. Yeah, I create a conscious coach selfishly for myself, for me to scale my business beyond rocket success. And then, of course, for you guys and for all my clients that have gone through it. You know, I've had clients that have convinced themselves in years of conditioning that their content isn't good enough for them to sign clients. Their content isn't good enough to make their clients go, I want to work with them. Like, I'm not worthy enough. I'm not deserving. To then 6 weeks later, maybe a reel goes viral and they sell out their program or get into a magazine. Like, how do you go from that to that, from doing this subconscious work? So allow me to be your subconscious whisperer. I shared this the other day about how one of my one-on-one clients sent me a DM. She was like, never stop whispering to my subconscious mind, like, what you have done for me is just beyond. And I never will. That's my promise to you. And that's why I make Conscious Coach lifetime access. This isn't you buy it, you pay for it, and then after the 3 months it's done, I take it away from you. No. And you know what? I keep adding to it because I want this to be your toolbox that you never have to go anywhere else. Because I know now from doing this work, from having this toolbox, from working and studying and training to really kind of finesse and master my skill, that I can only just keep getting better and better and better. And it's only going to be able to facilitate you, my clients, even more and even more, even more. So you've got 2 invitations. The first invitation is send me a DM with the word coach. Get yourself inside Conscious Coach. We kick off next week. The content, the first week, is going to be dropped down next week. And then our first live call will be the following week. So get yourself inside there. Commit yourself. Say, 2024, I said this was going to be my year. Prove it. Show it to yourself. Show your unconscious mind that when you say you're going to do something, you will do it. And second to that, if you're like, oh, I'm tilting, I'm on the edge, I'm like, oh, I really want to, but I'd love to experience this work, then jump into my free challenge. Scrap the strategy. Jump into it. It's free. What you got to lose? DM me the word scrap, well, the words, scrap the strategy, and I'll get you the link in. And as like I mentioned earlier, today I'm going to be dropping a very powerful exercise where you can shift this emotion, like literally clear, shifted, gone. Like if you're anything like me, I want like a fast track. I don't want to be waiting around. Like I've got places to go. I want to go. I want to become the baddest version of my freaking self. This is how we do it. So if you want to come and join my free challenge, also, can I just say it's fire? I don't know if anyone know you that, like, I love a voice note, absolutely love it. And this challenge is just full of them. And it has the most incredible souls ever inside of it. So if you want to come and join the free day challenge, it's extended, it's probably about 6 days now, but I'm loving it too much. Then send me the word scrap the challenge, scrap the strategy even. And if you're like, Tash, listen, I don't even need a taster, or I'm in the taster and I want to get straight inside Conscious Coach because I want to shift my subconscious mind. I'm ready to rewire my belief systems. Then send me the DM with the word coach and let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. Mwah. Go and have the most epic day, my beauties.